Welcome back to the Now Morning Show. So as we, of course, always do, we give you something to add to your calendar. And this just might interest you. Speaking about APETT's technical conference happening this month, May 14th and 15th at the Hyatt Regency Hotel. Joining us in studio this morning, we have PRO Jackie John and immediate past president, Dr. Trevor Townsend. Good morning to both of you. It's a pleasure to have you on the show now. Please correct me if I'm wrong. It's the Association of Professional Engineers of Trinidad and Tobago?
That's correct.
There we go. Excellent. Let's get straight into the theme of this year's conference. What is it?
Well, it's about engineering our future. So we're talking about green, equitable, integrated, and intelligent.
Good. Definitely in line, of course, with what we see are some sustainable goals as well. And what would you say is the goal of this year's conference, Dr. Townsend?
Well, as you know, we've had this situation in terms of the world with the COVID lockdown, etc. Now, APETT is 65 years old and has always been doing technical conferences, but we have not had a technical conference in person since 2018.
Oh, okay.
So that we are relaunching our technical conference series this year, our 65th year. This is a milestone year for us. And the whole idea of this conference was to bring back to the fore both for engineers and for the general public, that there's good engineering design, good engineering projects, good engineering research that is being done right here in Trinidad and in the region, and that we need to understand that we have tremendous knowledge and information that can benefit the country.
Excellent. Well, congratulations to both of you and, of course, the association for 65 years, a wonderful milestone. Now, you just mentioned that this is the first one in person since COVID-19.
That's correct.
Have there been any challenges in putting this together, in bringing people together as well?
Yes. Many challenges, which we are up to the challenge of taking care of that. Infrastructure, challenges with that, getting the infrastructure, but we chose the Hyatt Regency Hotel. So we thought that would have been the ideal place to really solve that problem of where we should have it. The resources. Resources are limited since COVID, every company. So we have to come up with some really innovative methods of getting people involved in the conference. That was interested in.
Now, as you mentioned, innovative methods, of course, that's something that we automatically just associate with engineering. And one of the things you mentioned with the theme is you're looking at green, equity, intelligence, and integrated, and so much more. So what are some of the topics that are going to be touched on?
Well, some interesting topics, because we have 5 sub-themes.
Okay.
And we have things like such as energy and energy-related industries, because we are an energy economy. We have resilient infrastructure, sustainable development for small island developing states. So, for instance, one of the papers is going to be on using sargassum to create energy.
Interesting.
Another topic is going to be a siphonic wave energy device. So that we're going to be talking about our solar photovoltaic systems resilient in terms of earthquakes, etc. So that those are some of the things that we're going to be touching on.
Definitely some things that are transformational and will be great for our landscape. Now, I know this is the Association Professionals of Trinidad and Tobago particularly, but do you also invite people from other islands to come and take part?
Yes, we have a number of presenters from Jamaica as well as from the US.
Oh, excellent.
Yes, it's open.
Wow. So I'm looking forward to this. How many speakers do you have for this event?
We have over 35 speakers for the event.
Well, it's going to be a jam-packed event, and that means there's going to be a lot to take away from this. What would you expect participants to go home with after attending this?
A lot of information about what is some of the solutions in Trinidad and Tobago and the world. When we talk about AI in engineering, we will definitely be discussing those topics and offering solutions to what Trinidad and Tobago is doing and the Caribbean in solving some of those issues.
Oh, you definitely triggered my attention there when you speak about AI, especially in engineering, which is such an impactful industry throughout society as well. So that conversation needs to happen, that is for sure. So which leads us into our next question, which is the engineering sector embracing innovation and sustainability measures to explore solutions to challenges. AI would be one of them, right? Are there any other things that we can perhaps add to that?
Well, certainly things like lean manufacturing, Six Sigma, we are going to be dealing with that as well. For small and medium enterprises. We are going to be looking at the whole question of the public transport sector. Because if you're talking about sustainable development and lowering greenhouse gases, then the need to move or travel to more public transportation is going to be critical. And we do have a number of papers that are touching on some of the research that has been done by some of our postgrad students, now PhDs and master's students, in that area. And there's a lot of information. We also, by the way, our featured speaker is the Honorable Minister of Planning and Development, Penelope Beckers. And that ministry is important because, you know, we're talking about Trinidad and Tobago's role in the whole climate challenge, COP27, COP28. And that ministry is a ministry that is leading the charge in terms of the national response to the climate crisis. So the minister is going to be there. She's one of our key feature speakers. In fact, she's our opening feature speaker. We also have another key speaker, Professor Emeritus Clem Imbert. He's our most recent Order of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago, and he is well known as a researcher and teacher of technology, educator, and meteorologist. He has been doing research in the steel band, acoustics, and all those sort of things. So that we have him. And then we have an interesting panel in terms of energy transition that is going to be led by Dr. Hayden Furlong, who's a fellow of APETT, former past president, and is now CEO of PowerGen. He'll be speaking on a panel with Senor Guillermo Chavez, who is a SMP lead in terms of energy transition. So that whole question of energy transition for countries like ours, we have to do energy transition. How do we do it and how do we do it safely? They're going to be talking about that.
Wow, so there's really a lot on the table, and as we mentioned earlier, transformational conversations are going to be happening. One of the things that you would have mentioned, Dr. Townsend, is your postgraduates and the inclusion of those younger generations as well. Do you both, we'll start with you, have any advice for those who are aspiring engineers and have a passion for this field of work?
Yes, certainly. And this is a very wide field. People think engineering it may be only one direction. But for instance, in APETT, we have chemical engineers, we have civil engineers, we have mechanical engineers, we have electrical engineers, and then subdivisions inside there as well. Anyone who is interested in a career in engineering, what engineers do? Engineers try to create a built environment for the development of society. We try to do it in a safe and sustainable way by what we design and by what we maintain. So anybody who has an interest in science, mathematics, physics, we would certainly recommend that they take a career in engineering. It's very rewarding. Jackie and I are testimony to that. And it's something that you will always learn more because we are into continuous professional development. So that's what we would suggest. Get into it, get learning, get mentorship. APETT is a lot about mentoring young engineers, so that we have a number of activities to do mentoring of young engineers and see yourself develop.
Wonderful. Jackie, any words of wisdom for those younger ones who may be interested?
Well, Prof said it all, but I say, well, it's important to keep learning and develop that passion for engineering. And, you know, there's the social responsibility of being an engineer, and the industry needs that going forward. We need to be thinking like that.
Definitely the industry, the nation, and the world. That is for sure. Before we close our conversation, is registration still open for this, and how can people become a part of it?
Yes, registration is still open. You could get onto our website at www.atc2024.org. So that's www.atc2024.org.
Wonderful. And do you need to be a member of the association in order to attend this?
No, we are seeking new members.
There we go. Wonderful. Well, Dr. Townsend, Mr. John, thank you so much for joining us this morning. All the best for this conference, and I'm sure we'll have you back on the show again soon to discuss what's coming up.
Our pleasure, and thank you for having us.
It's our pleasure. APETT Technical Conference 2024, May 14th and 15th, is taking place at the Hyatt Regency Hotel. Make sure that you go online and check it out and see whether or not you can be a part of it. We'll be back in a few moments after this short break.